Hey friends, it's Rosalind. Welcome back to our gardens and our tiny farm. It is a pleasure to have you here today. We are going to be transplanting the Ranunculus corms that we have been pre-sprouting since the middle of January. We are going to be planting them out into raised beds. Typically, I will get them pre-sprouted and then I will transplant them, give each one of them their own little grow space, usually about end of February. And then I will just grow them on under either in a sunny window or under grow lights until I know that the weather is going to stay consistently a bit warmer. But this year, since we have so many ranunculus, I have 5 big trays completely full of ranunculus corms, and then a smaller tray as well filled with ranunculus corms. And they are in deeper trays. So I have just been growing them in there, and it is time to get them planted either into something bigger or out into raised beds. But since there's so many, I thought I really don't want to mess with transplanting them into something bigger this year. So we are just going to plant them out into raised beds and hope for the best. But before we get to do that, we are going to be planting some seeds. We have been focusing on growing romantic, whimsical gardens this year. I especially want to grow lots of different vines. So this is one that I had got from Eden Brothers last year. It's cup and saucer vine, and I had tried growing them and I got them to sprout and everything, but once I transplanted them out into the garden, they ceased to live. So we're going to try it again this year because they are very pretty and I really feel like they fit in with like a romantic garden. And then this is one that Eden Brothers send out so I can share it with all of you. It's purple bell vine. And I thought it's so pretty. I want to grow it in containers, like out in the cut flower garden and around the greenhouse, hopefully. So we're going to get those planted and set these seed trays out into the greenhouse. When I go to sow my seeds, I will literally just use whatever I have on hand. This is a container that I drilled holes into the bottom as well as in the lid. We're going to plant our cup and saucer vine in here. We'll plant the seeds and then just put the lid on top to act as a humidity dome. And I just use an all-purpose potting mix. So I don't have to get them started in seed starting mix and then pot them up. I know a lot of people will do that, and that is totally fine. I just prefer to make it as easy as possible and hopefully not have to pot up before the plants like actually are grown big. For the cup and saucer vine, it says to start the seeds about 6 to 8 weeks before your last frost date. We are about at 8 to 9 weeks. So we're starting them a little bit early, but they just only want to be lightly covered. And this is what the seeds look like. Isn't that interesting? We'll just plant them in here and lightly cover them. Lightly cover up the seeds, then we'll mist it. Put our lid on top, and that's all there is to it. Okay, let's get the purple bell vine seeds started. This says to plant to 8 to 10 weeks before your last frost, so we're right around that time. And it does like to have 70 to 75 degrees for optimal germination. Let's see what these seeds look like. Oh my goodness. The purple bell vine is definitely a lot smaller than the cup and saucer vine. So we're just going to gently press it right on top of the soil. That's the way the seed packet says to plant them. Just give it a slight mist. This seed tray, I love these kinds of seed trays because you can bottom water all of your seedlings. This just nestles right in there. We're going to place our humidity dome on top. Again, it's just ready to be set out into the greenhouse. Okay, we have about 45 minutes before the boys come home from school. So let's get these set out into the greenhouse and get our ranunculus planted, or as many as we can today. It did add a tag into each one of the containers, so I don't forget what's planted in here. All right, let's go do it. It is so much warmer in the greenhouse. I'm not sure what the temperature is in there, but it feels like it's at least 10 to 15 degrees warmer in there. So I have been working on laying out the landscape fabric so we can get pea gravel laid down in front of and around the greenhouse. I feel like it's looking a lot more tidy. I have not taken these out yet since they have started sprouting. So we'll get to see what they look like together. Oh, the roots have kind of grown into each other, but that's okay. So this variety is a secret garden mix. So it will tell you to plant ranunculus about 9 inches apart, but since I'm planting them in raised beds and I use them for cut flower growth, I will plant them about 4 inches apart. And that makes the flowers go up, and I feel like it makes them even a bit taller. And your corms do want to be planted 2 to 3 inches deep. We aren't expecting any frost for the next 5 nights, so I'm going to plant these ranunculus corms and just leave them uncovered. But when we do get frost, whenever the temperatures dip below freezing, I will cover them up with frost cloth and probably some of the leftover plexiglass from the greenhouse build. Ranunculus are one of those flowers that love the cool weather of spring, yet they don't like being frozen. So over the next 2 months, we will have to be covering them up whenever we're expecting frost, and then whenever the temperatures go up above freezing, we will be uncovering them again. Okay, we only got 2 trays planted into this raised bed, and it is completely full, even with like the 4-inch spacing between each ranunculus corm. And I still have 3.5 trays left. So this raised bed has the tulips in it and the vole that we still need to get taken care of. So I'm going to fill this raised bed, not today, I'll have to do it later, but fill this raised bed with soil and fill it with ranunculus corms, and possibly, if we turn this way, this is where we plant all of our cut flowers and vegetables in. But over there, I have two raised beds that we plant vegetables in. So I might take over one of those raised beds as well with ranunculus. But I think spring is going to be very pretty out here in front of the greenhouse, especially once we get the pea gravel in. And I would love to add in maybe at least one or two more raised beds at the end. And then this, of course, well, like I said, we have all our cut flowers and vegetables growing in there. But let's go into the greenhouse. There is a book that I wanted to share with you. This is a book that I have been reading this winter, and I wanted to share it with you because I think it's very amazing if you love growing flowers. It's called Mastering the Art of Flower Gardening, a gardener's guide to growing flowers from today's favorites to unusual varieties. And it has, I'm sorry, my hands are quite dirty and probably getting my book dirty, but it is filled with just amazing information about all kinds of flowers. Well, friends, thank you for hanging out in the garden with me today. It's so exciting to just get some of these spring things planted, and so exciting that we're so close to spring. I hope you are able to get into your garden a little bit today, wherever you are. Have an amazing week, and I will see you right back here real soon. Bye.